Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody. This is where we review cars and motorcycles, and guess where I'm at today?
Push the button and say you like this.
Add the subscribe button.
Subscribe.
I'm on Motorcycles of Greensboro with the man, the myth, and the legend. It's the professor, you guys.
And we are here today with a 2022 Kawasaki ZX-6R.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the bike. We're going to see some of its features. I'll take it out on the road, share my thoughts with you guys, talk about the cost of ownership, and assign it a Bhroman score. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Bhroman.
We have here, in my humble opinion, probably the best 600 class motorcycle in the market. Yamaha pulled the R6 away.
Yeah.
Honda hasn't really done with anything with their CBR 600RR in at least a decade.
And the Gixxer.
The GSX-R, okay, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
But really, in the end, this is in the Japanese world. It's the Ninja 600, the ZX-6R, that's probably, in my opinion, probably the best in the class.
And this is what 600s were all about. You know, it's pretty compact in its dimensions.
Yes.
Like just looking at it, you see the tank is it tapers down so you can grab it in. Everything's compact. And what they've done now is they've added a lot of features on this bike. Like, you know, it's got the quick shifter, the slipper clutch, the Kawasaki traction control, the Kawasaki anti-lock braking system. It's no longer that you're just getting a bare bones bike. You're getting a bike which has a lot of features. Sure. Yet it's quite affordable.
Performance is still there.
It's still there. You're right. It puts out 134 horses
and 53 foot-pounds of torque for the price.
And for the price, though, you're getting a lot.
You are. You really are.
You're getting the power. You're getting your feet wet with all the technology that like the leader bikes and the premium brands have.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're getting a taste of what you can graduate to eventually.
Right. I mean, you're getting a chassis that's world class. I mean, the chassis really is.
Like the Ninjas are famous in World Superbike and all the different kinds of racings across the globe.
Yeah, I mean,
across the globe.
I remember, you know, when my first experience at a motorcycle dealership. I remember when Kawasaki had a ZX-6 that was a 600cc, and the only reason why they kept that in production was because nothing bigger than a 600cc was allowed to race. But because of its low torque output, and because most people on the street preferred a little more torque and probably a little less horsepower, really, because in the street you really need more torque than you need horsepower. Kawasaki introduced the 636, and for people that had no intention of really racing, this was the choice between the two. This was the one. Because it offered a little more torque, it offered a little more grunt out of the corners, it offered, you know, you didn't have to rev it to the moon and back just to be able to get into the power of it and enjoy the ride, if you enjoyed spirited rides.
Spirited rides, yeah.
Yes, we all know Honda, we all know the might of Honda because of the cars, and now their jets and so on and so forth. But Kawasaki Industries is probably the biggest of them all.
Of them all, right? Yeah.
Right, because I mean, you know, with their their tractors and stuff like that. You know, Kawasaki is probably the biggest
of the four.
When it comes to company, right? And the motorcycling is just a teeny tiny sliver of it, but they're very passionate about their motorcycles. They never, that I know of, Kawasaki never treated their motorcycle department as a stepchild or a secondary thought.
You mind if I do a quick walk around of this motorcycle?
Not at all. Not at all. Please do.
Starting off from the front, it's got those two split headlamp look going on with little LED DRLs at the bottom, and you have turn signals on the fairing. Now this bike has a 23.5-degree rake angle. What's the rake angle, you ask? Well, draw perpendicular from the steering mount for the fork tube. That angle's your rake angle. Shorter the rake angle, the more nimble the bike is, and larger the rake angle, the more stable it is at higher speeds, highway speeds, and such. The braking power for the front brakes are two dual 310mm pedal discs with Nissan brake calipers. It's got nice, beautiful lines, a little green insert here and there, paying homage to the Ninja lineup. On the side, you have that single-mounted exhaust, and that's a big fat exhaust at the rear. That's to meet the Euro 5 standards and all of that. It just has a 55.1-inch wheelbase. It weighs about 425 pounds. It's got a seat height of 32.7 inches. Now for the back, it's got the two turn signals down there with the license plate mount and the tail light up there. It's a chain drive, and it's got the adjustable suspension in the back over there, monoshock. Now it does have the 636 sticker over here. It's got a decent enough passenger seat for your pillion riders, and a pretty comfy looking rider seat as well. As for the fuel tank, it's got a nice shape to it with cutouts for your legs and knees to grab it on, and it even has that little swoop on the top for you to tuck in and put your chin there. I like it. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. I like this little fuel cover, man. The material is nice to the touch as well. Oh, the other thing on your passenger seat, it tells you it's a Ninja. Let's talk about the handlebar controls. First things first, it's an adjustable clutch lever over here with preset adjustments. You can move it to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. High beams, turn signals, you have a horn and hazards, and this is to make selections in the menu. You move around the menu and make selections. And as for your handlebar controls on the right, you have your kill switch and your starter button. Pretty simple, pretty basic, and pretty straightforward. You can make adjustments to your front suspension, and look at the key. This is where the key goes in, the ignition goes in. It's at a quirky little angle facing that way. I just like it. As for the mirrors on this bike, they are mounted flush on the front frame, so they don't turn with the handlebars. All right, so this bike does not have keyless ignition. It's got the Kawasaki key, and to turn on the bike, you push it in. Let's check out our infotainment screen. So you have your warning lights on this side, tachometer, which gear you're on, the time, your digital speedometer, total miles, and fuel range intake and all that good stuff. Let's see what I can change here. So I can change it to trip A, trip B, total odometer. If you press the menu button on the top, it changes that. Now if you press the one at the bottom, it'll change it to fuel economy, total fuel consumption, your range, outside temperature, intake air. Pretty cool. And if you press the select button here, that's where you can customize your riding modes. So when I hit the select button at first, that starts blinking. That's how much power do you want, and you have F and L, so that's full and low. If you hit that select button again, it lets you select the level of the traction control, the Kawasaki traction control. So you can go off, 1, 2, 3, off, 1, 2, and 3.
Motorcycles of Greensboro is, what we do here is we share our knowledge with potential future riders or potential future friends to us through our experiences and our knowledge, obviously. I figure that within these walls, there's a combined 300 years of motorcycling in all segments. You know, you got, obviously, we talked about me road racing. Paul is, I mean, you know, he'll get on a motorcycle and go for 14 hours nonstop.
Andrew will go where there's no roads, doesn't care, as long as he's on the motorcycle.
Exactly. I mean, Andrew looks for the end of the tarmac, and then that's where he goes. Troy likes his Sunday rides in the twisties and his sport bikes because he's a spirited rider.
There's so much knowledge within these walls, and they're friendly and they're knowledgeable. And guess what? Sharing is caring. They want you to listen to their stories as much as they want you to share your stories with them, because the more we talk about, and that's the whole family feeling, right? Like, we share experiences, and
exactly,
we share time together and, you know, talk about our experiences.
Exactly.
But I'll put their website link in the video description below. And who should they say send them to you if they come down here?
They need to tell us that the Bhroman sent them.
Yes, tell them the Bhroman sent you, and you'll be instantly part of this amazing family. And Professor, do you happen to know what time it is?
Because my watch says it's right o'clock, brother.
It's right o'clock. Let's go.
If you guys are new to Bhroman, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. Pretty smooth. let's go and do our first test. Let's make a couple of U-turns and see how she maneuvers, shall we? Alright, pretty lightweight bike, pretty steep brake angle. These are known for their maneuverability. So U-turns are literally not a problem. Not a problem at all. Let's go ahead and do our second test, the pool test. It's got a lot of juice in that 600cc engine. So, first impressions of this motorcycle. I'm sitting in a fairly aggressive riding position. It's got clip-ons, so I have to reach out for the handlebars. They're not pulled back towards me at all. The foot pegs are little to the top and to the back, so that means they're crouched in, which makes it great for being tucked in and riding. It's like fairly comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, I wouldn't say. Alright, stop sign. Let's see. These brakes are pretty sweet, man. As for flat footing it, I can flat foot it on both feet very easily. I'm 5'10", 31-inch inseam. As for the seat, well, it's a pretty long seat, so it's pretty deep in a way that you can scoot back if you want to, if you need to tuck in, or you can scoot in the front and be sitting a little upright. Balance, well, it's a 600, it's a Ninja 600. What do you expect? Amazing balance, man, amazing balance. And I love that whine of that engine. Just take a listen, and this is in low mode. Oh man, it is fun. It is fun, I'm not gonna lie. Now, wind protection, well, there is none. It's a nicer day today, but temperatures in the high 60s, so that's not a problem. I'm not cold or anything, but I am getting a lot of wind in my upper body, legs, lower body, everywhere. It's a 600cc sports bike. What do you expect? A lot of wind protection? Hell no. But like when you're stopped, it almost feels like it's got nothing going on. It's so quiet. Let's see, I'm gonna change it to full. Just for giggles. Oh yeah. Kawasaki quick shifter, so no need for clutch. Pretty seamless. A little jerky from first to second, but second to third was pretty smooth. Now keep in mind it's putting out what, 134, 135 horses, which might not seem a lot on paper. I mean, just on my channel I've reviewed bikes that are almost twice as powerful, or 1.5 times as powerful, but this is so light and so compact. It feels so delicious. See, the throttle is very responsive and very sensitive to your inputs, and this thing loves to rev, so let's rev it out a little bit. It's really quiet and smooth in the low to the mid-range, but when you get it up in the rev range, yeah, it'll let you know it's still a Ninja. Stock exhaust or not, it's still a Ninja. Yeah, and like 600cc bikes are great for your track days and even your like in-town commutes. The seating position, as aggressive as it is, it's not quite as aggressive as the leader bikes, so the seating position is still a little better than the Ninja ZX-10R or any other leader bike on the market. I mean, the seat is pretty comfortable, it's decently comfortable, but if you're looking to do longer rides, you'll probably need to switch these seats out for something with more padding and more added comfort to them. So, would this be a good bike for commuting? Well, I think so. It should be fine for commuting, as long as you can carry a backpack or you have a tank bag or something of that sort to carry your laptop or your other luggage of sorts. This has zero storage space, no saddlebags, none of that. You have a little storage space underneath the pillion seat where you can keep your insurance information and all that stuff. Look at the balance, man, no hands and still straight. So yeah, it should be decent for commuting. Now, would this be a good bike for touring? Well, let's put that in perspective. It's a 600cc baby super bike. So would it be good for touring? Yeah, nope, not at all. Not at all. Zero wind protection, aggressive riding position, no storage space like saddlebags and stuff like that. Probably not the best for touring. I mean, you could go from one city to the other a couple of 100 miles maybe, with brakes and whatnot, or if you're taking the back roads, you're gonna have a lot of fun through the sweepers and twisties, but definitely not something I'd use as a touring motorcycle for sure. Now, would this bike be a good bike for beginners? Well, it's a 600cc bike putting out a decent amount of power, 134 horses, and so probably not the best for beginners. I mean, if you've been riding for a couple of years on standard bikes or whatnot and you decide to step up to this, sure. What about the cost of ownership though? So in conclusion, the Ninja ZX-6R hits that sweet spot where it's lightweight, it's got a lot of punch, a lot of power, it still has the Ninja moniker, it handles really well, and it's quite comfortable for what it is. So yeah, it checks off all those boxes. Not the best bike for beginners, but you could get away with it if you have some riding experience. Great for commuting, but not the best for touring. So if this is the bike for you, head on down to your closest Kawasaki dealer and take one out for a spin. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll see you soon. Bro out.